So this is just some EDC, everyday carry thoughts. So recently I've been carrying this knife, which button release to open. How nice is that? And it's really sharp. It's really sharp, and it can be sharpened very nicely. I used to have this, and this one I would like the most. This is basically the previous version of that. When I was doing woodworking in a sort of installation or construction environment. For a while I carried this knife. Now this knife, these are not listed as a steel, but I think this is 7CR17, and this is different. I don't know what it is, but this is a very hard and tough steel. It's a little bit difficult to sharpen. This is a little bit easier to sharpen, but it's really sharp. I mean, right out of the box, this thing is like a super razor, and it stays that way. It's nice. This is terrible. It's dull. I won't even cut paper sometimes. But at work, because I carry this knife for a lot, it's a nice, delicate, but very sharp knife. When I was carrying this every day, it would function for a bunch of utility that this does not. With this knife, I can do that stuff, but I'm always afraid I'm gonna damage it. And in fact, it's so damaged by now. You should be able to see that right there on the camera, what the tip looks like. It's just, I don't razor cut with this knife. Now I did buy this knife, and this is so heavy. It's 5CR15. It's gotta be 50 Rockwell. It sharpens, but if you cut cardboard, it stops cutting right away. It sucks. If you paint and you open the paint bucket and you pry things open and you stick this into the drywall and you do stuff like that, it's good. This was an immediate disappointment. It's D2 steel, and I don't know if I understand D2 steel, but it never does what this does. This knife gets super sharp. It's like a razor blade. This, I've just only been disappointed with it when I try to play it, cut paper and stuff like that. But I made this big old garbage bag here of stuff I'm throwing away, and I played with this knife, and I'm deciding I'm going to take it as one of these, and I'm going to leave this at home, and I'm going to carry this, and I'm going to carry this. And this is so light from the glass fiber handles. I just think it's going to go really well in my shirt pocket, and I'll do all of my cutting with my box cutter mostly. And this does, it seems to get to a dullness, a sharpness, and if I put a really fine edge on it, it won't stay, but it seems to get to a point that's effective. I mean, it's like a Boy Scout knife, and then it stays there, and it still does cut. It's just not that clean, it's not that nice, but it seems to be durable enough that maybe if I spend some time doing paint bucket opening and stuff like that, the tip won't look like this. I mean, it looks like you can't see the edge on there, but it doesn't get as fine as this, but it doesn't seem to get destroyed. And so I'm thinking that a D2 blade might be a good accompaniment for a razory blade or a razory blade and just fill all the gaps that makes you want to be more careful with this. I may carry both of these, but because I'm carrying this, because I need to cut, I package boxes in a warehouse, I can't see running this blade all day every day when I can just buy a pack of cheap blades, just change my blade. I just can't see committing to a life of sharpening. But this will fill a different role, and these are like the same knife, and really I need something closer to this cheap knife that never cuts unless you try really hard, but does everything without really getting any worse. And when I abuse this blade, it gets worse really quickly. And this doesn't seem to be doing that. So I'm gonna try carrying this K-Bar Dozer a D2 blade and see if I can figure out, because at first when I was like, this is D2, and then I started playing with it and I was like, man, this knife doesn't cut anything. It's worse than this one. But it might just be that I don't know what I'm dealing with. Maybe if I put it in the right place, it might go to be a really nice knife that really gets a lot of things done for me and barely weighs anything. I mean, the only weight is literally the blade. These handles are not even there.